Welcome in everybody to a special Saturday edition of Also Eligible because, well, pointing the wrong way here. AJ's back.
What's
Welcome.
up, guys? Good morning.
Uh, Good to have you back here, and we have dueling we have dueling aspirations here in our um in our captions here today, our titles.
We do. But I'm only claiming the Derby. You're claiming the whole Triple Crown. But I don't know where it stands right now. But at a point 2 months ago, my horse Woodbine, is that the name Woodbine? Yeah, that's
Woodburn,
Woodburn.
Woodburn.
Yeah, Woodburn. I don't even know the name. Uh, was the favorite. I don't know how they could do this, but I guess
Hmm.
based on pedigree, it's the favorite to
Yeah,
win the Derby next year.
yeah. And in my case, my horse, which is still in witness protection, because he's still listed as Shippy 24.
Yeah.
He's doesn't have a name yet, or at least not known to us in the public or even the owners yet. But
No, no, no. You will vote on the name of the horse. That's how they'll do it. You'll vote, and the
mhm,
name for Puka 24 were so bad, the final three,
mhm,
that I think I'm going to sound stupid because I don't know. So when they have names, then they have to submit them to the racing
yeah,
federation to
it
get
go
approvals, and the people came back and they're like, "No, these are ridiculous names." And I was like, "Thank God," because I didn't like any of them, and they came
mhm,
back burned. So
yeah, because that goes through the jockey club.
yeah, that's
They
right.
have a log of all the names, and there's names that have been retired, which are basically your Triple Crown winners and your Breeder Cup Classic winners. So those names are retired, and they find out that some names have double entendres and stuff like that, so they don't approve that. So little, sometimes it takes 10, 15 tries to get a name approved by the jockey club, and sometimes you just go in and boom. But and the way that and I with your horse Woodburn, I imagine it was just that name is available. It you know, it doesn't have anything, it isn't even close to another name who may be running in that same time frame that the horse is gonna run. There's so many different factors involved there.
How about we find a horse? It's probably going to be like a $2,000 claiming something or other, like bottom of the barrel, but we name it Luker's Battle Bot or something like that. I mean, that's a name that's got to go right through. And then mid
Well,
race, the horse runs off the track and goes to the concession stand to get some M&Ms or something like that. That'd be great.
well, actually, I did watch a race, um, yesterday from 2016. Now, you probably are crashed out by this time of night, but you ever see Scott Van Pelt's Bad Beat segment?
I've seen him, yeah.
He has a race from Gulfstream where this horse that was extremely misbehaved was actually going to win a race, and she crashed into the rail and collapsed the rail, and she went
Holy
and won.
crap!
Yeah, that's from 2016.
Wow.
Yeah, so it, you know, but but at least your horse has a name.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you want to know something exciting too? Is that I got my first. So where we've invested in these horses, you don't get paid per race, but
Hmm.
every quarter we do all the pluses and minuses. And
Hmm.
even though I don't have a sparkling record yet, the town, believe it or not, even though Schoolyard Superman was on the Derby Trail there for a moment,
Hmm.
the town's made money because it's only finished off the board once. So I got my first payout, and
Hmm.
it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
repping my town hat this morning here.
yeah. I do see that, and I'm representing the Phillies because I'm going to be on Top Fan Rivalry this week.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so I do think more than just the horses. So
Top fan rivalry. I don't want to. I don't want to put their business out there, but there's something really big going on with them that's about to pop.
oh,
Which, if it hits, there could be a top fan rivalry coming to a location near you pretty soon. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, he's onto something that could be pretty solid
mm,
there.
I'll have to check that out. But yeah, so I'll be talking baseball with Bill. We're recording on Monday, and I think it's going to come out on Wednesday. So,
So hey,
um,
can I ask you Phillies real quick? Because I'm paying attention. I'm trying to zero back in a little bit on baseball, but
mhm.
I'm just I got to keep an eye on my two dogs here because at some point one of them's going to take a dump and then the other one's going to roll around in it. So I got to stop that. But Harper couldn't hit for week 1, and everyone was panicking.
Mhm.
And now Schwarber hit the first pitch he saw this season over the moon. And
Mhm.
now I see Schwarber's hitting like 120 and Harper's heating up right now. So isn't it a little bit? And I was on that show last night with those guys, and they were talking Yankees and
Yeah.
just bad judges, and it's a complete nonsense. You can't get too excited or too upset about anything 2 weeks into the season.
No. No, you can't. And the thing is, I've been seeing it for 2 years now that Rob Thompson needs to be fired.
Really, you think so?
Well, don't you
Mattingly?
don't you think that Mattingly was brought in here for 2 reasons?
Well, one because his son is the GM or whatever now, right?
Yep.
Okay, and the other one is to replace Rob Thompson. That would be
Potentially.
cool. I got nothing against Hopper, but
Mhm.
I want Mattingly to get a World Series somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe here. But
That that would be epic.
mhm. But, he could have had it last year, but, little bad luck here and there, and the next thing you know, LA's got their second title in a row.
I'd really like to see though Aaron Boone get fired at some point and Mattingly go back to the Yankees and
Mhm.
win the World Series there.
Mhm.
That would just be that'd be a fairy tale.
Mhm. I see your dogs running around behind you.
Yeah, if they get to be too much, I'll put them away. But they're just getting their morning exercise.
No, let them have their morning exercise.
2 hours ago, Schoolyard Superman, Impractical, and Keepsake Boxer out here running around getting their morning work in. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, any word on Impractical or
he's training well, moving forward. They're expecting he ran a good race his last time out. Uh,
Mhm.
Steal the Moment, who hasn't even run at all yet. My Baffert horse
Mhm.
had to get something was wrong with the horse, and then it needed a scope because they thought the horse was sick. But then the scope machine was broken, and this took weeks and months. And finally, the horse scoped, and it came back fine. So they're hoping whatever was bothering the horse is beyond
Mhm.
back into training now. So
And also just to let you know, as my pen went flying, um, you that horse may not necessarily run in California.
yeah, because he's shipping everybody over to Kentucky, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he's gonna be shipping a bunch of horses to Kentucky, and then in the fall, he's gonna go to Oaklawn.
Okay,
So remember, he's 2 or 3 years removed from that. Um,
his ban.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna see him do all kinds of things there this year. But I don't really think he has a Derby horse this year.
I thought he did. I thought he had a couple that were, but I don't know. But one of the things that so Superman ran 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
and came in second. And when you're watching it, he lost by a few lengths, and it was disappointing because we expected him to win. But that night I got the buyers, and he ran. I want to tell you a 99.
Yeah.
And the horse that beat him in that race is his stablemate that he works with every morning and he beats every morning.
Hmm.
So his stablemate just happened to run out of his socks that day to beat Superman. So even the second place finish I think still possibly has him on track. I haven't heard yet, but they were looking at the
Yeah,
Pat Day on Derby Day. So well, it makes sense if he ran a 99.
yeah, and I made this prediction 2 weeks ago after that race. Don't be surprised if you're making a trip to Parks in September. Not necessarily for the Pennsylvania Derby, but could see that. You may see him in the Gallant Bob, which is a sprint race for 3-year-olds, which sometimes launches those horses into the Breeders' Cup Sprint,
Okay.
or maybe even the Dirt Mile.
Hey, I with the form and look, the town ran a crappy race his last race, but I guess they can't run great races every time. Who knows? Maybe there's 2 Breeders' Cup horses here because the town, that horse normally closes like nobody you've ever seen before.
Yeah, and I'd like to see that buyer number improve a little bit because he's stuck in the 70s
Yeah, I
for the
saw.
most part. So I don't know if it's because there was a horse that was supposed to run yesterday, Wolfie's Dynaghost. Now, granted, it was a 1.125 race in December. He ran, I think, a world record at a 1.125 in 1:43, which is like a good 1:16 time. He ran that in a 1.125. So that Gulfstream turf course is pretty damn fast.
Well, I'm Impractical's got a spot in my heart because that was the first horse I went in on. So I'm kind of hoping to straighten that horse out. And
Yeah, yeah, and rightfully so. And I think, and and the weird thing is, um, he was gelded, right?
yeah, mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. Then yeah, because when I was watching the race, and yeah, I was going back and forth between Gulfstream and Fairgrounds and whatever track I had highlighted that day, and I said he's listed as a colt here, but I can tell you from seeing Commonwealth's site, hearing the words from AJ, that horse is gelded. Fairgrounds never announced that as a gelded horse.
Well, I hope he keeps moving forward, and I'm hoping that. And I don't know what the plan is with the town, but the town was first time Lasix last time too. So the town went off at like 3-5 or some crazy
Yeah,
nonsense like that.
yeah,
So not that I'm happy that he lost, but I like making money on the day of the race too.
yeah.
So next race out, we'll probably get some odds, and sometimes second time Lasix is better than first time Lasix. So
Was he on Lasix? Because that was
yeah,
a stakes race.
first time Lasix last time out on the town.
Or
Or was it Superman? No, I think it was the town that was first time Lasix last time out.
I think the town was first time Lasix in his maiden win.
No,
But
no, no. It was his last race. He was first time Lasix. I'm 99% positive. I don't know. You can probably find his records easier than I can. You're more knowledgeable, but I remember my buddy called me and he's like, "Oh, we're not gonna make any money with your horse. The horse is first time Lasix. He can't lose," and then he lost.
let me see here, because usually stakes races you cannot run on Lasix.
Okay.
It's all part of HISA and all that. So there was no medication in the Tampa Bay Downs race. The maiden race that he ran, he won. He was on Lasix that day.
Oh, okay. All right.
So just,
I got a lot of horses, man. I can't keep track of all of them.
yeah, I just have one. And you got to be on the Kentucky Derby Trail, albeit briefly.
For a minute, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I am going to be, I'm guessing my horse will probably show up around August, something like that. That's just me wondering without too much information right now, which is fine.
Dude,
because
your horse is a monster, dude. He's huge.
yeah,
He's
he is.
freaking Clydesdale.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say, and hopefully this doesn't uh, get us flagged or anything, but um, 4 or 5 AJ's horses are with Commonwealth. My horse is with Commonwealth, and it's $50 a share, which isn't bad. And you can buy. I think because I was new, I could get up to 20 shares. I think so. I got 10.
Oh, they
Was it
capped it
10?
on you?
They might have. I don't remember,
Okay.
but I wasn't going too high anyway. So
All right.
I just went with 10. Just get my foot in the door. And and then when I'm in the Derby and you're not, and I'll be like, hey, look at this shit.
Well, my Woodburn is with my racehorse,
Yeah.
and I've got two of my race Woodburn and Field of Moments, and
Hmm.
obviously neither one of them have run yet, but the reports, and I like Commonwealth, but I like my racehorse too. Even though we haven't had a race yet, I get a lot more up to date updates from my racehorse than I do with
Hmm.
Woodburn. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping to be able to this fall maybe get one with who is it? Why am I blanking out? Oh, West Point. West
Yeah.
Point. Who Griffin works with
Yeah.
West Point Thoroughbreds.
And that's Griffin Johnson. For those that don't know, he's associated with Sandman. He's an influencer, and I think he's associated with one of the horses in the Derby this year
Yeah,
too.
yeah, he's got another the cast horse, Silent something.
Silent but deadly.
No, I don't think it was Silent, but deadly.
Silent tactic.
Yeah, Silent Tactic. That's what it is. Yeah.
You can tell we're
I
just
don't know
all
what
over
kind
the
of
place.
deal he's got going on there, but he got in with Silent Tactic like right at the last minute. So I think it was a part, and he's doing I don't know if you follow him, but I mean, he was in surgery with the horses this week,
Yeah.
and I mean,
Yeah.
he's doing a lot for horse racing. So whatever deal he's got worked out with them, good for him. But yeah, back to back Derby
Yeah.
horses.
Yeah. He's doing horse rescue work, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. Now he's at Coachella. He went from the operating room at some track somewhere to a private jet with him and 8 chicks heading to Coachella. So must be nice to be young.
Yeah.
Forget those days.
Yeah. I miss those days too. Even though some people think I look young, but
Well, you do look young compared to Methuselah. So yeah, it's all
yeah,
right.
it is. So, uh, so, so here's what we have planned for today, and AJ will probably be doing this on the fly here. We're going to look at races 9 and 10 at Keeneland. Race 9 is the Jenny Wiley. It's a Grade 1 race for older fillies and mares. They're going a mile and a 16th on the turf. Then we're going to look at the Lexington Stakes, which is the final race on the road to the Kentucky Derby. It's termed a last chance race. However, even though it is a last chance race, it's actually a prep for the Preakness.
Mm.
So you may see a horse or two from this race end up going to, I almost said Baltimore, but it's not going to be at Pimlico this year.
That's at Laurel, right?
It's at Laurel Park, and they're capping the attendance at 4 or 5,000 this year.
At what? 4,000?
Yeah, because they're doing renovations
Yeah.
to the track, um, to the stands as
Okay.
well. So they got a lot of that uh, walled off, and then on top of that, they can't put the fans in the infield like they did at Pimlico.
Mm. It seems so silly. Why not just move the race out of there totally for this construction period? I get
Mhm.
that Belmont went to Saratoga, so it's both in the same state, but why not run the Preakness at Gulfstream?
Mhm.
Or, yeah, I mean, yeah, Gulfstream would make more sense. Keep it on the East Coast.
Hmm.
But you got great weather, you got a superb track, and you can cram all those people in, and
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to like. I don't care which track it is. Baltimore's a dump no matter what. And
Yeah.
those tracks were dumpy 20 years ago when I was there, so they got to be
Mm.
worse now.
Well, we'll see what Pimlico's like in a year from now.
Yeah, well, they're rebuilding the
And
track, aren't they?
the track is staying
I mean,
as it is, but
the grand.
they were thinking about turning the track around a little bit, but they're not doing that.
Okay,
They're rebuilding the grandstand, which is badly needed, and Laurel is going to become a training center, and they're going to ship the horses in from Laurel for the races.
okay. So they're going to close Laurel down for racing.
For live racing, yeah.
Okay,
And I imagine what they will do is, let's say something happens at Pimlico, they could conceivably run races at Laurel in an emergency.
gotcha.
At least that's what I think. So, but the 1 year we have it at Laurel, and it'll be more forgiving on the turns because Laurel's a mile and an eighth track around. Pimlico's a mile with tight turns, so have a little bit of a different look. And then in September, the return of Belmont Park.
That's going to suck, though, isn't it, to have the Belmont go back to Belmont next year? I kind of like it in Saratoga.
Yeah, but I'm sure they could. Well, they still have the Travers and all. They still have 8 weeks of summer there.
Yeah.
But
And hey,
but I,
pretty soon Monmouth will be opening up.
yeah. Hmm. Delaware opens soon. Monmouth opens soon. All the spring and summer tracks are starting to open up now.
Best time of year, buddy.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe my horse ends up there. Your horse ends up there, and then who knows? Maybe we congregate at Keeneland this year for the Breeders' Cup.
That would be cool. It would also be cool to go back into my old stomping grounds of Monmouth,
Hmm.
have Superman win the Haskell or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe you take the town and you put him back on the dirt.
Yeah, don't get me started. I don't know what I mean. They just got to get this course out of the gate. Dirt,
Hmm.
grass, snow,
Hmm.
ice. It doesn't make a difference. Just get him out of the gate, and this horse is Secretariat. But
Yeah.
he spots the field 10, 15 lengths every single race.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
well,
we
the
need.
one time he didn't do it was that maiden race right after Christmas, and it was like, what do we make of it?
Yeah,
But but you've had your thrills,
it's been fun.
yeah, and hopefully we get more winners out of you in our stable. Even though it's not a real stable, we're just calling it a stable because he has his portfolio. I have my portfolio of one right now, and who knows? Maybe we're starting something here.
Look, and I didn't get involved in any of this really initially with the long term goal of, hey, I'm going to make some money doing this. I just thought, hey, this would be kind of cool. This and the soccer, both of them.
Yeah.
The soccer just took me over to Ireland, and we got a whole thing going on over there now. But to be able to collect some money off of the town,
Mm-hmm.
that was pretty cool. And the town is, I don't know his numbers right off the top of me. I don't have it all pulled up here this morning, but
Mm-hmm.
Superman was on the Derby Trail, but the town's made almost twice as much money as
Yeah.
Superman at this point.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's always
Because he
made money except for once.
yeah because he had that $300,000 race at Florida in his second career start.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're gonna catch up to each other. But yeah, and the one thing you said to me was when it came to the town, why don't they run longer? I think they're looking at the pedigree
Okay.
because his sire Win isn't really known to have his offspring run at long distances. So that's probably why they have him at a mile and the 16th right now. But
Wow.
because I know that was something you said to me in private conversations.
Well, I'm gonna go out this afternoon and spend my town profits. So that's what my Saturday is gonna look like. Or maybe I'll take them and put them. I do. Oh shoot! I closed it out. I do have a. I do love a horse today that we got running here. Let me get this thing back opened up.
Okay. Yeah, I have a couple of picks here, and hopefully we can get some horses home here because I think we can get some winners here. And just to let you know, because I didn't tell you off before we started here, I am going to show video of one race with the horse that I like here in the first race here, which is Keeneland Race 9. And this is the Jenny Wiley $650,000 purse. They're going a mile and the 16th. So far, no scratches. I say so far because right now things can change. It's only 10:30 in the morning, and usually about this time of the day we start talking about particular horses, and the next thing you know, a horse is scratched, and it's like, where do I go from here? Now, was this the race that you were liking a horse here, or is it a different race?
It is not. It is. We're gonna go. Yeah. This is where. Why are there so many Ireland horses in this race?
Because of the turf.
Okay. Yeah, and this is not the easiest race to handicap because these horses, these are definitely not throwaway horses.
No, they're not.
But
tell me what horse, and I'll scan down.
I like the one. I'm gonna put a couple bucks on the one horse right here.
Okay.
Three out of his last four, and normally with these foreign horses, if I can't get all of the numbers that I normally like to look at, I just toss them. But I see that I can't do that here, and I don't know. He just he's coming back with the same jock who's won on him the last 3 times that he's raced. So he's won 3 out of his last 4 with Sayaz on him. This is his 3rd race back. He definitely moved forward on his buyer in his last race.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at this and I say, look, any one of these horses can win, but I'm gonna take Express Queen or Expensive Queen. I'm sorry.
Expensive Express, same thing. But I know.
Yeah, it goes quickly. I'm gonna put these animals in the house real quick. I'll be
okay.
back.
Okay. So I'm going to set this up here so that AJ can see what I'm going to go with here here at Keeneland. Now, we do have Lush Lips, who's the favorite here, going to be closing here. Won the Honey Fox, 2nd race off of a layoff here. Definitely going to be tough here. And there is some speed in this race here. But I do want to show you, and this is the race that I want to look at here. And the one thing is, this is the free race of the day on the daily racing forum. So you will get, you don't even need a 20 card program or anything like that. You could just sign up and never purchase a program. You can get the free race of the day. And oh, by the way, you can get the all turf pick 3 if you want to and play races 5, 7, and 9. Even if you want to play races 5 and 7 as a win wager. So you have those extra races to your advantage. But I'm going to show you
Keeneland's the promo on DraftKings or FanDuel today too is Keeneland.
Yeah. Race 9 is the money back promo. Get up to $10 back if your horse finishes second or third. I have a $10 wager from yesterday that's sitting for me today because I gave out a 10-1 shot to finish second. And then race 10, you have the $20 money back. And it's the final one on the road to the Derby, where if your horse finishes second or third, you'll get up to $20 back on your wager. So both races have the money back special today. So yay me for picking Keeneland today.
Beautiful.
But,
All right. And I just locked in on I'm already locked in on the one horse here in the 9th race on FanDuel.
Okay. So now there's two different ways for those that are looking at this. Now, mind you, you have to do some additional searching for Expensive Queen if you want to watch that race and see what happened in that race. It's just a Churchill Downs thing versus daily racing form or whatever. But I'm going to show you Destino d'Oro's last race here. And if I can get it to work. And
Thanks.
Jason Beam's on the call here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this out a little bit, only because for whatever reason, it doesn't let me go full screen. But Destino d'Oro is the 4. I'm going to push ahead here. I'm going to go about here, middle of the backstretch, and watch what happens to the 4 as they approach the turn here.
Length in front of Aunt Mo, still bottled up toward the inside. Whiskey Decision is third.
Okay, they're going onto the backstretch here with the drone shot here.
A little closer. Scythian makes a bit of an early move on the outside as they try to stack him up in behind, and one more time up front.
Don't tell Jason Beam that I muted him there.
They go by the half-mile pole. 49.90 seconds.
So the 4's making a move here.
It looks good right now. Where is that?
Well, watch what happens. See, has to check there.
Why did he have to check there? He looked like he had room, but I can't. I can't.
One horse, he got crowded there. He might even clipped heels with the 5.
Okay.
But whatever. I mean, and the thing is, I could show you the head on and apply it directly to your forehead as well. Remember those commercials? With where it was on the track, you just the head on camera that they have for when you look over the races for objections and inquiries.
Mm-hmm.
It was at a point in the track where you really couldn't make out anything because they were right at the start of the turn, and that's where they cut out. So you really couldn't see anything on there about that. But here's the 4. The 4 dropped all the way back, but he's coming back here. Lost momentum, gets it back.
Proctor Street on the outside. Scythian's up to third. Whiskey Decision going to need a seam here.
So
one more time leads him into the stretch.
He's about 4 or 5 wide here.
Switching off the rail goes Whiskey Decision. Child of the Moon's going to go down to the inside. Destino d'Oro, after that trouble, is still not without a chance. 16th pole, and it's wide.
Wow.
Between horses, Proctor Street. Far outside, Destino d'Oro, Child of the Moon. Between horses, Whiskey Decision. Wild finish coming up. It's either Destino d'Oro or Whiskey Decision. Ended up in the photo in the Hillsborough.
Looked a little bit like the town there.
Yeah. And Destino d'Oro did get up there to win. Was a 3-1 winner that day. And he gets a cleaner trip here. I think I think she. The only time I worry about pronouns is when it comes to my horses. I think, you got a horse here in Lush Lips who's won 5 out of the last 8, 6 out of 8 with 2/3. So you're looking at a horse here in the 7 who's going to be tough and has continually put in good race after good race after good race. But I like that this horse had trouble, had to go wide, and closed, looked like your boy the town, and ended up winning there. So, and it was a grade 2 race, steps up into grade 1 here. I'll take Destino d'Oro well, I'm hoping to get 4-1 here. You're more likely to get 8-1 than I'll get 4-1 on your horse versus my horse. But the great thing is, if you're going to use FanDuel, you get your money back if your horse finishes second or third, because there are 10 runners in this race.
That is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I am
So actually, let's do it like this. How about that?
I'm going to wheel this guy too. So I'm going to wheel the 1 because now you got me thinking here about Diorio.
Which means he's going to finish dead last because of me.
Look, if we can get the queen home and have Lush Lips off the board,
Mhm.
we're going to be doing okay here. So
Yeah.
There we go. So I'm spending all that town money.
And you know, and don't let your Lush Lips get you into trouble like Diana Rossini did.
My Lush Lips never get me into trouble. There are mosquitoes out here this morning.
But Diana Rossini got herself into trouble because she's on leave now from the Athletic.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, I know. But so AJ's going with the 1. I'm going with the 8 here in the Jenny Wiley here. And like AJ said, because he mentioned FanDuel, that is a money back promotion of up to $10 if your horse finishes second or third. If you win, you suck at the promotion, but you got money.
Money's always good.
Yeah.
Money is always good.
Yes, it is.
And we're looking at 10 here too, right? Race 10?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now.
All right. So FanDuel, they may do this just to suck you in, but all right, let me see here. So FanDuel's top pick in this race. All right. I'll let you break this race down and then I'll have a question. But
Okay. So we do have one scratch and forced agenda. So we do have the scratches in, at least for right now. So we do have I think they pronounce it Azum here. I think that's what the announcer pronounced the name at Colonial Downs a couple
box
weeks
horse
ago.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this was a very impressive win. He just drew off, won easily, looked good, taking the next step, the obvious next step, and also has a very dangerous jockey trainer combination with Flavian Pratt. They won 27% of the time in the last year or so at Keeneland, and overall throughout the country, 34% winners. So that's going to be a tough horse to beat here. Confessional. Now, the thing is, I do not know what to make with these Colonial races, especially on the dirt. Because I talked to Jason Beam last year. He was up there for the Pennsylvania Derby. He's actually friends with Jessica Paquette, who's the track announcer at Parks. And he said that at least last year, the last 2 years, their main track is lightning quick. Now, this wasn't really a lightning quick race that day, but they also had rain. It was cold and all that during those 3 days that they had a Colonial. So maybe worth a chance here. But I'm going in a different direction here.
Okay.
Now, I don't know about horses going from New Mexico to Kentucky to run, other than Mind That Bird. but I'm going with the hell we did. And I think that he's going to get the speed set up here because there's 2 or 3 horses that have speed here. Coronado de Oro, going to go for the lead. Exhibition only, going to go for the lead. Decisive Win, who's still a maiden, possibly. So you got, well, actually has the best time form rating, which, I hold with a grain of salt because, I don't really go too much, but he ran some pretty fast quarters here. So when I watched this race on last night, he's out of his sire's Authentic, who won the Kentucky Derby in 2020. So he's got he'll be able to do the distance. And I just not familiar with the dam side here, but he beat older horses first of all, and then on top of that, when you watch this race, he just drew off and won by 13 while geared down the whole time. I mean, he was just loping along to the finish, and he still ran a 108 for 6 furlongs, which wasn't that far off the track record. To me, he's screaming that he wants 2 turns and potentially could look like a horse that could do some real damage here today, especially with the fact that that was the first race in 4 months as well.
Why is the 5 just dismissed? Mr. T.
Well, probably for the same reason that Hulkamania was dismissed in the Tampa Bay Derby. The name? No, I'm kidding. There was a horse Hulkamania that ran at Tampa Bay Downs in last month.
Oh, is that real?
Yeah.
Did
I think
win?
that no.
No.
I think it's one of Jason Wirt's horses. But I think that this horse just isn't fast enough.
Okay.
Doesn't have, I don't see that 5 furlong work here of these last 4. It was going 3 furlongs, 3 furlongs, 4 furlongs, 3 furlongs. Like, usually the starting point of building stamina with a horse is a 5 furlong workout. And the one thing you will see with Baffert horses, for example, since you have Steal the Moment, you'll see that he's serious about getting the horse ready for a 2-turn race, is going 5 or even 6 furlongs in a race. So I think it's a combination of first race in 5 months. You got a trainer who's 0 for 9 this year. You got a jockey who's 11 for 136. And I get your point, but I just don't think he's fast enough.
Well, he likes to win, and that's in this. Look, for me, there's so many horses that can win this race,
Mm-hmm.
and at 30-1, I like 30-1. So I'm going more off of the 30-1 than off of his, and that he's 3 wins out of 4 races.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the layoff. He's got a new trainer. I don't know if I like that or don't like it, but I like 30-1 on a horse that's won 3 races in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? When I can't find a clear, this horse is just going to annihilate the field.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
Okay.
I pity every fool that doesn't go in on Mr. T now, because you'll regret it later.
And this is where I wish I had the sound drop of, if you remember from when he was in Rocky 3, they asked Clubber Lang, what's your prediction?
Pain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So AJ's predicting Pain my way because he's going with Mr. T. And I'm going with the hell we did. And I'm not going by name. I just really liked that race that he ran. Now, just to let you know, because also just a little inside stuff there. Horseshoe Indianapolis, which is IND in the code there, they just started racing on Tuesday. And I had a race on Tuesday on the website, which I didn't know what to do with because most of the horses at Horseshoe Indy, they run until November when the season ends. And I would say 80 to 90% of them take the winter off. So that may be the reason why he's in this he's showing up today, but you would figure you want to run him potentially in a in a lower level stakes race at Horseshoe Indy, but they see something in this horse. Why not? It's not that far of a drive from Horseshoe Indy to Keeneland. Let's take a shot.
Now, are these things on TV today, Joe? Or are we watching these on Fox Sports or whoever's showing these, or F2, or we have to watch these on FanDuel?
Well, those that want to watch on FanDuel can. I did see this morning that Oaklawn, Keeneland, and Aqueduct will be on FS1 starting at 4:30.
Okay.
And you may even see a familiar face on the Fox broadcast today.
Not Frank the Bank.
No.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember Todd Schrupp from FanDuel TV?
Yes.
He is doing freelance work for Naira right now. He had his first day on Thursday.
These guys they're already finding new jobs, huh?
Well, in Todd Schrupp's case, he was let go first, which was like, what happened? Now you see everything that happened with FanDuel TV, FanDuel Racing. It's like, it makes sense probably. But AJ's swinging for the fences with the 5 Mr. T. He's hoping to bring the pain, and he pities the fool like me who's going in the other direction, whereas I'm going with the hell we did. And one thing I would recommend here, because I don't want to pull it up because I don't want to keep AJ here till like 2:00 in the afternoon. The hell we did was I like the way that he was drawing off even in a race where he was geared down at the 8th pole and still won by almost a football field. So that's where we're going to go there.
Doesn't my setup just feel like horse racing today? Like, don't I feel like this is my background, sort of like I could be at a track somewhere right now?
Are you sure you're not at Keeneland?
I'm not going to divulge where the heck I am because I'm tired of getting stopped in the street saying, "Aren't you that guy?" And especially after being on that Caltrap podcast last night, I'm sure there's a lot of people. There's probably hits out on me now. So
yeah, well, I'll give a hint. I know you're not at Keeneland because your dogs were running freely there for a while there.
I got it like that. Like Griffin. Griffin goes where he wants to go. I go too. I take my dogs with me, and we're all happy.
All right. Okay, so
I wish I had it.
AJ saying, but I kind of have an idea where AJ's at. We'll just keep it under. We'll just keep it quiet there. So now we're going to get to the 2 races at Oaklawn. And we're going to begin with race 8 here. And originally, this is what, here, I'll show you. This is what I go by when I look to see, okay, what races do I want to look at here? But I'm also looking at the main page. So New York, I could have did, but I'm like, nah, probably short fields because they've had short fields and 7 race cards and everything. So they're they're really having trouble filling races here. Charlestown, no. Keeneland, that was the free race of the day, so I had to add that in. And then I see the Apple Blossom. I'm like, all right, well, we'll do 3 races. I pull up the article for the Apple Blossom, and we end up having 2 stakes races, not 2. So I'm like, all right, we're going to add this race here. So we have the Count Fleet Sprint Handicap, and if your horse has 3 legs, you get an advantage. No, I'm not kidding. And there is a field of 8 in this race, and this is the lone race today that is not a money back on FanDuel. Race 10 will be a money back race, foreshadowing there as well. So let me just refresh here. Scratches may not be in yet. I'm just peeking here. Yeah, we may not have scratches in yet, so who knows? We may get to the point where we're talking about a horse and it gets scratched and be like, oh, where do I go? But any thoughts on this race here, AJ?
It's a tough race.
Mhm.
I don't know. There's a lot of horses that are. I don't know. Let me see. This horse has taken all kinds of time off, and this guy. Yeah, I don't. I can't give you. If I don't see something, I'll keep my money in my pocket. But with that being said, I don't know. These is. I don't know. Maybe the 1.
Okay. Does have a trainer change here.
I saw that, which I don't know. I don't know that I like that. Do you like that? I mean,
you're going from a 20% trainer to a 17% trainer, so there isn't that much of a difference there. New jock, new trainer. The only thing I would say is, the one thing I would look here. Let me see if I can find it here. Let me look up Maximum Bourbon here. Because sometimes there just may have been a private sale, or it's just, it just may be the racing stable just change jockeys, change trainers because, Joe Sharp, for example, may not be in Kentucky that much. Let me just check the chart here. Oops, what race is that? Race 3. That. Okay, so it looks like it was a private sale because you got new ownership here as well. So there may have been a private sale afterwards. So they end up in Kentucky. They end up in Oaklawn here. That horse will be stalking here, and hopefully, for your case, one of 2 things happen because there's speed here right to his outside of the 2 Tough Cat. I think Booth will go for the lead as well, which will be second race up of a layoff there. So I think that horse will jump back up towards the 97 there if he runs his race. And there's also probably Wendelson may go for the lead as well. So you're looking at 3 different horses here that have a shot here. Now, Roll on Big Joe. Now, layoff, yeah, but it's 2 months. It isn't like this horse is coming back after 6 months. So the way that they run these horses now, it's more on optimal performance than it is anything else. So you're not, you're looking at going for picking the big races, the big pots of money in these races here. And this is a big pot money because, oh, by the way, they're running $500,000. Winner getting probably 60% here, and probably going to be stalking just like your horse is.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll have the outside. Now, the one thing I will tell you is Oaklawn tends to be a track where you can close, and I'm going to go with Tejano Twist here in this race for that reason. And this horse has run very well lifetime at Oaklawn, 6 wins, 7 seconds. Also, this since the meet began in December, finished third in the Ring the Bell, third to Roll on Big Joe, finished second at optional claimer. Rivet is a fringe stakes horse. The King Cotton just missed there. Went to an optional claimer, won, and then won the Grade 3 Whitmore in a pretty good time there. I think this horse, if we have enough speed here, and even we have some of those stalkers, this horse should close here and could get a pretty good shot at winning here, because I think there's going to be a lot of speed in this race, and it's going to set up for him here.
I'm looking for this on my my app here.
Okay.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go very small, but I'm going to box the 7 and the 1.
Okay. Okay, so AJ's boxing 1 and 7 in an exacta box. And I have this as 7-5-8-1. And we'll see if we're in the ballpark on that one.
Why is okay? All right. Yep, I'm gonna lock that in.
Okay.
And I'm doing a $2 exacta box here.
Hey. $2 is better than $0.
I suppose it is. But $2 can easily turn into $0 if you pick horses.
But a $0 exacta box will lead you to 0 every single time.
That's true.
And then we have the main event at Oaklawn today, the Apple Blossom. They are running for $1.25 million.
How do I get him practical in this race?
You have to have him transition into a filly.
All right.
I mean, he's halfway there.
Yeah, he is halfway there, yes.
Now, the only thing is he's not living on a prayer.
But he's still identifying as a full colt, so.
Yeah. So, Nitrogen is a 9-5 favorite here. Mark Cassie, who we interviewed last year on the road to the Derby. And I know some people will say this. I don't think she really liked the slop here at Oaklawn. Now, people say, well, what are you talking about? Look at that Saratoga race, won by 17 lengths. Here's the thing. That Saratoga race last summer, there was only 3 horses in the race, and the other 2 horses were extreme turf horses. They just stayed in the race because if not, it would have been a walkover. They would have had to cancel the race altogether. So they just ran that race. And, she and Mark Cassie at the time was thinking about putting her in a dirt race, but this was the acid test because it was a race that was taken off the turf, and he ended up winning fairly easily. But the one thing is, if you were to watch this after the fact, if you watch her races and you look at the past races and everything like that, Mark Cassie even can't figure it out, but whenever she's on the lead in the stretch, she starts veering left and right and wandering around. Why that is, I don't know, but she needs targets. And if she can keep that straight line, she will end up winning. Now, I don't know if this is going to be like what was the horse from last year that was real good? The Kenny McPeak horse.
I do not know, buddy.
I don't know. I'm trying to get rid of the spam in chat here. So, Torpedo Anna. It's just like, is she losing a strat? Is she losing a step? Or is this just one of those races where you just throw your hands up and say, all right, let's just go on here? But this is the race that he's been targeting the whole time. Now, Majestic Oops and the 2 and Regal, they both passed her in the stretch. Now, think that with Majestic Oops, I think it was because of the wet track. I think with Regal, it could have been the wet track as well because they both run well on the wet track. So that may be what we're looking at here. So I'm going to take a chance here on the favorite here. I mean, I hate to say it worded that way, but you do have to question, even though she has never been worse than third in her career.
Yeah, never out of the money, man. In 14 races.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Mark, so I hate to bet against him.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to bet against a horse that never is out of the money.
Yeah.
But there ain't no money there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw her in an exacta box with 3 and the 9.
Okay, that's Regal.
Yeah, and Blue Fire.
And Blue Fire to 9. She's coming in from the fairgrounds. Did win Gate the Wire there, was running in state bred races there at the fairgrounds, and then did make a trip to Oaklawn, finished second in that race, but is going to go 2 turns here. So, and she's been in the money 10 out of 12 in her career as well. So she's stepping up in class there, but AJ sees something there, and maybe he gets lucky and he hits maybe a 9-1 exacta or maybe even a 9-3 and gets paid.
Yeah, I'm gonna box this in a try also. And let's go for a 9-3-1 would be fantastic.
Okay. And the other horse that I'd like in this race is the 8, which is Claret Beret, whatever they, thankfully I'm not a racetrack announcer.
That's a hard job, bro.
I know. Because especially you got 10, 12, 14 horses you got to remember. Then when the race is over, you got to dump those names out from your memory. You got to learn another 8, 10, 12 more horse names and stuff like that. So, but won the Royal Delta easily there at your home track, Gulfstream Park.
Mm-hmm.
And Sappy Joseph has been winning at Oaklawn with his rare trips out there. He's 5 for 13 there this year.
Well, then why isn't my keepsake box out there then? That's my Saffy horse.
Because they want to run her on the turf, and Oaklawn does not have a turf course.
Well, I don't know if she likes running on the turf. I'm going to have to go talk to her this week. Bring her some peppermints.
Yeah, and I know what you'll say. Do you like running on the turf course? I know what her answer is going to be.
Yeah, she's going to say nay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So AJ's going with the 139 box here. I'm going 1823 here. It looks like those scratches are not in yet for Oaklawn yet, so I may be making those late changes on my X account at Joe Quills and also the Bleacher Brothers X account as well. I'm just checking the race day changes here at Oaklawn. Yeah, Oaklawn's scratches aren't in yet. So we may have a possibility where I'll be sitting here, feet up underneath the table because I got a box underneath my table here, and be like, "Oh man, I gotta change things up here." But we'll get everything squared away here, and hopefully get you guys some winners because last week was not a good week for me.
You can't win every week though, Joe. You're on a roll there for a while, weren't you?
I'm on a roll this week.
That's how I'm feeling too, just in life in general. Everything is kind of coming together for me this week. So I like my picks, although probably they'll all probably shot on the track after the race today, but why not? I just feel like right now I can go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and it's gonna hit.
Now, do you have a Derby horse
Not
that
yet.
you like so far?
Not yet. No, not yet.
I do.
You do? Who do you like?
I like the Puma.
The Puma won at Gulfstream, right? At the last race? Is that where the Puma ran?
He lost by that much.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah, he broke his maiden in the Tampa Bay Derby. I think you can get him at 10, 15 to 1 on Derby Day.
Well, Derby Day is a great day to make money because the favorite very rarely is going to win on Derby Day. So if you can go eeny, meeny, miny, mo and get it right out of 20. I don't know yet. I've been following, but I don't know yet that I really love one horse more than anybody else. So at this point, if you ask me, I'll probably tell you I'm going to root for Griffin's horse, but
yeah,
but I don't know yet. We're too far out still.
But we do have one horse that we may want to toss, and this is from Caitlin Benson on X. She is with Churchill Downs CDI. January foals have a terrible record in the Kentucky Derby. Only one has won or crossed the wire first since 1967. That was Grindstone in 1996. Renegade, who's the favorite, is the lone January foal in this year's Derby. Which probably means because this is probably going to be a reverse black cat, and this horse wins by about 20 lengths in the Derby.
That's my thought, buddy.
So just some food for thought here as we, little by little, we're getting to the Derby. And, you can follow me on X at Joe Quills. You can follow the Bleacher Brothers Bleacher Brothers X at Bleacher Brother. Leave the last off for savings, brother.
1-800 mattress. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything?
And we got a big announcement coming up here probably within the next week. A huge announcement. As we try to make our stamp. It's windy. Try to make our stamp in the horse racing world here. So
yeah,
stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And some of the things that you told me yesterday, I'm excited about too, because get the branch things off a little bit more, get the portfolio looking a little bit better on my half and all that. And who knows, maybe in a couple of years, be like, hey, I know that guy. I know him.
Happens.
Or you may be pulling a Conor McGregor on me, which I can't play right now because I don't, for some reason it doesn't play over the internet unless I have the headsets off. I just never figured it out. That's all.
I could do without technology, buddy. The day that my ship comes in, my phone is getting launched into the Atlantic Ocean, and you guys will never see or hear from me again. And I will literally be in a cabin somewhere without a phone.
Oh, so you're going to be Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, except I won't get caught. That's the difference between me and the Unabomber.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
that'll probably be the case. But you
Well,
know,
I'm gonna have to come back on next week and brag about my winners. So
yep. And you will find out all the picks on the Bleacher Brothers page. Well, especially my picks and my thoughts on all the 4 races here. I'll add AJ's thoughts on here, who we picked here. Race 9 at Keeneland, he's going with the 1. I'm going with the 8. He's going with the Expensive Queen. I'm going with Destino d'Oro. The Lexington race 10, he's going with Mr. T because he's looking for pain. I'm going for 7, the hell we did. Race 8 at Oaklawn, he's going the 1-7 box here. I'm going with the 7 Tejano Twist. And race 10, he's going with an exacta and a trifecta box of 1, 3, and 9. I'm going with nitrogen for the win there.
all right.
Anything else you want to add before we close things out here?
No, I'm good, man. Everybody have a good
Okay.
weekend and let's make some money.
Yeah, let's make some money. And I will be back Monday night. My buddy Mike will be across the table there. It'll look like we're in 2 different rooms, however, but we're actually about 8 feet apart. And I will be flying solo Tuesday and Thursday, and we'll be back next week, next Saturday. I think we're going to look at Oaklawn because the Oaklawn Handicap is next weekend, and we can have a sovereignty and journalism rematch in the Oaklawn Handicap and with a Barrio.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. So right now I'm looking at Oaklawn, and who knows, maybe AJ comes back and be like,
And
I don't know.
maybe Impractical or Superman or somebody will be running next week too. Who knows?
Who knows? But I think Schoolyard Superman may end up in the Pate Mile the way that you're talking.
I hope so.
Mhm.
I'll still watch it from here. Not the only
Yeah.
way I'll ever go to Churchill on Kentucky Derby Day is if I'm in the Derby.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way, you know. Or maybe I take a September trip to Churchill Downs where maybe I go to a Friday game and then you go about half a mile away, you get to see a University of Louisville football game.
Yeah, what I want to do is I want to take a trip up there and go to these farms, man, where
Yeah.
all the old Derby winners and
Mm-hmm.
Cup winners are, and I mean that would. And I keep getting the invites to go to Ocala, but it's 4 hours away, and to pull
Yeah.
it. But we got to do that. We have to do that, and we're going to do that. I'm telling you, we are going to make a mark. If nowhere else, you're going to know us for horse racing in the next few years.
And it's fun times, and you're getting in on the ground floor. Well, maybe the second floor, but you know, but we're still low enough on the elevator that you know we will gladly come back down to the first floor to let you in.
You know how big horse racing is? When I was in Ireland, I mean, it's all day, every day.
Mhm.
Every pub that we went into had horse racing, all kinds of people in there. And I tried, I could not download any apps over there.
Mhm.
I was able to find an actual bookmaker, big sign, bookmaker.
Mhm.
And who reads books? There's a guy that making my Fat Mike. He says, no, that's a bookie. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's go in there. But it was because I had 2 horses running when we were over there that day.
Mhm.
I think Keepsake and Impractical both ran that day.
Yeah.
And it was like pulling teeth to be able to get action in on them, but I was able to do it. But
Yeah.
they do they run, I don't know how long those races are, Joe. They seem like they're running miles.
Mhm.
And they're jumping over the hurdles, and it seems incredibly dangerous. And I'm going to guess a lot of horses could die on the track running out there like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think that we're getting towards the end of steeplechase season there
Mm-hmm.
because that's the races that you're talking about, and they go 2-3 miles.
It's crazy. The tracks are
Yeah.
gigantic.
Mm-hmm. And you got all these hills and valleys and all that.
You
as
don't
well.
see a grandstand or people or anything. You just
No.
see horses running
Yeah.
forever and ever and ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then in the few races that we watched, every race the jockeys get thrown,
Hmm.
and then you have 2 or 3 just jockeyless horses, but they're smart enough to not hurdle. They go around the hurdles when they don't have the jockey on them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're well trained.
Yeah,
But,
unlike us.
Yeah.
All right,
But
have a good weekend, man.
you too, man. And that's it for this show. Do appreciate everybody watching wherever you're watching today. I will be live Monday night at 9 o'clock. Check that out, and follow and subscribe at Joe Quills on Twitch, because I am going to be expanding my streaming within the next week or two, which means more silly crap that I do. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you guys in